All right, let's talk about Apple. We're going to deconstruct one of the most powerful, most recognized brands on the entire planet. But we're not just going to look at their shiny products. We're diving deep into the unique and honestly kind of brilliant digital marketing strategies that have helped them build a global empire. Let's peel back the layers and really see what makes them tick. You ever stop and think about this? You just don't see Apple screaming about sales or flooding your social media feed with constant ads. It really makes you wonder, right? Why doesn't Apple advertise like pretty much everyone else? That's the central mystery we're going to unravel today. So it all starts with their core philosophy, which is just different from almost every other company out there. See, for Apple, it's not just about selling you a product in a box. It's about creating an entire experience around it. I mean, just look at the difference here. On one side, you have traditional marketing. It's loud, it's constant, and it's always yelling about features. But then you have Apple's way of doing things. It's quiet, it's super selective, and it's all about selling a feeling, an experience, and building a real, genuine connection with you. This quote right here, it just nails it. It perfectly captures what they're all about. When you buy an Apple product, you're not just getting a device. You feel like you're joining a community, maybe even adopting a whole new lifestyle. And that, right there, is why their brand loyalty is just off the charts. Okay, so that's the big idea. But how do they actually do it? How does this philosophy show up online? Well, let's take a look at their digital storefront, starting with their website and how they handle social media. Think about Apple's website. It's so much more than just an online store, isn't it? It's basically a direct extension of their entire brand. Visiting their site feels like walking into one of their physical stores. Every single detail is meticulously designed to scream simplicity and elegance. And none of this happens by accident. That super clean interface, it makes you feel calm, not stressed out. The gorgeous high-quality images, they communicate that this is a premium product. And the content is so easy to understand, it just builds trust. It all works together to give you this smooth, premium feeling from the very first click. And this less is more vibe carries right over to their social media. You'll notice they don't post a million times a day like other brands. Instead, they focus on just a few really high-impact posts, and each one is like a little piece of visual storytelling, designed to connect with you emotionally instead of just trying to sell you something. Okay, this next part, this is where things get really clever. This is how Apple gets its own customers, people just like you and me, to become their most passionate and honestly their most effective marketers. The Shot on iPhone campaign is just, it's genius. Instead of creating a slick ad telling you the iPhone has a great camera, Apple just shows you using these absolutely stunning photos and videos created by regular people. This isn't an ad, it's real, authentic proof. What this does is create this amazing, powerful loop. A user takes a fantastic photo. Of course, they share it with pride. Then, Apple comes along and shines a huge spotlight on the very best stuff. And that authenticity, it builds this incredible amount of trust with anyone thinking about buying. It's basically a marketing machine that runs entirely on genuine user passion. And the effect of this is huge. Because, let's be real, in today's world, we're all pretty skeptical of those super polished, perfect advertisements. But when we see something from a real person, we trust it. By making its users the heroes, Apple builds a level of credibility that you just can't buy with traditional ads. So that trust gets people in the door. But what keeps them there? What makes them stay? Well, that brings us to Apple's true secret weapon, the one thing that ties it all together and basically locks in customers for life: the ecosystem. The real magic is how seamlessly all of their devices just talk to each other. You start writing an email on your iPhone, and then you open your MacBook, and boom, you can just finish it right there. It just works. This isn't just about convenience. It's like this powerful force of gravity. Once you're inside the Apple ecosystem, the pull is so strong that leaving feels, well, it feels almost impossible. This is marketing by design, and it locks in loyalty without a single ad. So let's zoom out for a second and pull all of this together. When you look at the whole picture, why is Apple's digital marketing so unbelievably successful? It really just comes down to a few core principles. At the end of the day, the crucial takeaway is this: Apple always, always prioritizes quality over quantity and that emotional connection over everything else. From their simple, clean website design to their seamless ecosystem to their absolute trust in real users, it's all about building a lasting relationship, not just making a quick sale. Which, leaves us with one final, pretty fascinating question. Apple has spent decades, literally decades, building this brand, this ecosystem, and this incredibly loyal following. In a world that's just full of noise and constant promotion, is it even possible for another company to come along and replicate that Apple magic? That's definitely something to think about.